right, folks. Thank you for pressing the old download or subscribe or however you're getting this bootleg show. Thank you for joining the Retro Gamers. Larry here.
And Anthony here.
What's up?
Not much. It's daylight savings time now, and yeah. I don't know what to. I think the world is upside down.
It's dark when it should be light. It's light when it should be dark. Thank God every clock in my apartment's automatic, so I don't have to worry about getting confused.
Oh yeah, I can't tell you how happy I am that that's a thing now.
So nothing new. Anything new? Playing games? You doing Shining Force 2? What's going on? What are we doing with that? It's you and me.
Yeah, I know. Well, no, Shining Force 2 is where it is. I mean, I'm still trying to set a time and date to sit down and live stream the ending of that game, as if other people haven't seen it or can't go on YouTube for it.
It's fun.
But it's a major accomplishment that I want to share with all three of our listeners.
There you go. That works for me. And we'll figure that out. We'll put 2 and 2 together on that one day soon. As far as me with Castlevania, because I'm going to pick up Castlevania 2, I think
you should start.
I'm going to have to start because apparently the Mini NES, which comes out, you know what? I got to look up on the website. I feel like it's coming out here in the U.S. November 11th.
That sounds about right.
Bottom line is that it's already sold out, at least definitely on Amazon, and I can't find it anywhere else. And Amazon has no ETA as to when they're getting a new shipment in. So right off the bat, it looks like maybe after Christmas. I dare even say maybe into the new year, because Nintendo is notorious for under what's the word I'm looking for? Not creating as many units as demanded.
Well, I think they're being a little, they're being a little careful and cautious with it, considering, they weren't sure what the response would be.
I think the response would have been. I mean, I can understand their point of view, but they did it with the Amiibo. When they started putting out the Amiibo, I mean, just to comparison it, all these, they were all like way under the demand, and trust me, they knew the demand for these figures, and Nintendo just I guess they're quantity over quality. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what their thought about it is.
Yeah, I honestly can't tell you. What I can tell you right now is that you can get your hands on a Mini NES on eBay, and it looks like the cheapest one right now is $100.
That makes sense because it retails for $60.
Yeah, so of course people are going to make a profit, and then some genius on here has it for $1,000.
Nice. Now, wait a minute, hold on. Now, see, here's what I don't understand. I mean, kudos for them trying to sell it on eBay, but if no one has it, that means the person buying it through the person on eBay has to wait for the person on eBay to get it from wherever they're getting it from to ship it out to them who bought it on eBay.
Yeah, I think I followed that train of thought, and yeah.
I'm just saying it's
yeah. So, well, the bottom line is that the demand is obviously there for it. So kudos to Nintendo for this concept. It looks like it's already going to be a big success.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully they'll restock it soon, because I want to get my hands on it.
No doubt. I definitely want to get. But then again, that on my end, now I'm personally speaking, I already got half the games on the retro console. I can get the other half for the same price. Granted, there's 2 games so far not on the retro console. I can get Bubble Bobble and Final Fantasy, but I can get Final Fantasy on PS4. And Bubble Bobble, I'm sure I can find somewhere. So I'm still debating. I mean, I'd love to get the system, don't get me wrong, but mine's going to be need versus want. I definitely want the controller. Do I need the system? Yes, I do, but do I, am I going to get it? I don't know. We'll see.
All right. Well, see, and for me, I'm going to get it just because, I am a collector of all things retro. So even if I get it just so I can have it and keep it and never play it, then so shall it be.
That's half the new games I do. And
me too.
Speaking of which, though, when a certain somebody heads over to Japan, definitely Mini Famicom.
Oh, no question about it. But who's heading to Japan?
I don't know. I heard somebody. I heard it through the grapevine.
Oh, yeah, me too. My goal when I get to Japan next month that's like number 1 on my list, is to find a nice little Mini Famicom for me.
It should be out. Look, you can bring 2 back.
Well, all right. Yeah, true. I'm going to open one and then keep the other one. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be out by then. So, and hopefully over there.
I'll be on the lookout for it. Well, let me. The beauty of Google is you can just look. It's already on eBay.
Of course.
Looks like it may have come out already. I think.
Really?
I think you are correct.
Oh, okay. Sweet. Well,
awesome.
I'm always due one correctness.
Well, we give you one per show.
Just one per month. So, all right. Well, Mini NES going to be on the lookout for it. I may just end up downloading Castlevania 2 anyway because I kind of want to get that started. I want to get that going. And if I knew how to hook up the Wii U for as long as it's going to last, because I think there's some production on it this month. But
which works out nicely for me because there are a ton of games I haven't bought yet, so they'll be cheap.
Yeah, honestly, right? Well, wait till
that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm just going to run for all the games once they drop them down to $20. Black Friday.
Yeah, game on, right? And maybe we should talk about my other podcast, more of the same. Talk about the old Nintendo Switch. But that's for another show at another time.
That's not retro game.
But
we're not allowed to talk about that.
No, boo. So, but yeah, I'll be on the lookout for it, and I'll try and live stream as much as I can with Castlevania 2. It may be jerry-rigged through my phone, but I'll figure it out.
Oh, you can download it on your phone?
No. I meant just hook it up and broadcast through my phone. Camera-wise. So,
I'm not hip to the live streaming stuff. So,
unless Santa Claus treats me good, gets me one of those E60 gaming who's-a-whatsies.
Did you send your list yet?
No, I'm not allowed to talk about Christmas until December 1st.
Is that a law?
That in my household it was, yeah.
Nice.
So, but with that being said, though, there is something that is available. You can get physical copy, or you can get on. It's what I like to call new meets old meets new. I don't know how to mention it, but bottom line, Atari Flashback. Atari Flashback started as the plug-and-play games that you just plug right into the TV, and it had 80 games or something.
Yeah, I remember. I actually I bought my mom that one year for Christmas.
Yeah, they're always constantly updated. I think one of them may have had a slot for cartridges like the Genesis did, but I don't know how accurate that is.
Oh no, the one I got my mom was actually in the shape of just the Atari joystick. And the games were inside the joystick.
We talked about that one.
So it's just, yep.
So what they're doing is they're bringing now Atari Flashback Classics, it's called, Volume 1 and Volume 2 for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And what's cool about this, again, new meets old meets new, whatever you want to call it. First of all, each one has about 50 games, I want to say, around there. It looks like some of them are arcade. We'll talk about some of these games in a moment. Arcade quality. And some of them, I think, are even upgraded with modern editions of the games, which I'm really curious to see what that looks like.
Yeah, that'll be really interesting. Because these games were made with the simplest of graphics. Obviously, they were I think 4-bit. So I mean, imagine what you can fit on 4-bit, 4 bits. So to see somebody interpret it and modernize it will be very cool.
No, totally, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, there are
totally lame.
Maybe, right? Depends on what it. And there's some of these games I'd really love to see as kind of upgrades, but I'm not. I mean, it's too many to name all of them, but we're just going to go through a couple of them. And some of these, I mean, were classics and are classics. Now, Volume 1, you were saying right before we started recording, you were saying Volume 2 looks a little bit better than Volume 1.
Yeah, no, well, at least for me, because I'm looking at the games, and it makes me remember the ones that I used to play.
Okay.
And it seems like Volume 2's got a large chunk of the games that were near and dear to my heart.
Well, here's some of them. Again, just a handful of ones from Volume 1. And here, 3D Tic-Tac-Toe. I hated that game.
Horrible game.
But it's a classic because it's been around forever. Bowling, Canyon Bomber, Centipede. Here we go. Combat. I remember that game. That was a fun one.
Combat I played like crazy.
Yep. Luna Lander, the arcade version of Lunar Lander. Millipede. Let's see. Pong.
Centipede's younger cousin.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, more like a sequel, right? Yeah, that was a sequel. Which came first, Centipede or Millipede? Probably Centipede came first.
Centipede was first.
Pong. I mean, that's the one that started it all.
Of course.
And then you got Real Sports. You got Save Mary, which
horrible. I've never heard of Save Mary.
Neither
no idea
have
what
I.
that is.
The Real Sports: boxing, football, soccer, volleyball. And then a couple of steeplechase. Again, now here's where I feel that one may beat out two. Now I'm going to go a little out of order here. Yard's Revenge.
Yep, one of the best games on the Atari.
Yep. Tempest.
Tempest was great as well.
Classic. And the three, right? One, two, yeah, all three. Now, they were originally supposed to be four, but all three Sword Quests that came out. Earthworld, Fireworld, and Waterworld. And I don't know if you remember Sword Quest. You remember Sword Quest and the story behind it?
No, I never played Sword Quest, but one of them's called Waterworld, which makes me worry that it was, that was the impetus for that horrible Kevin Costner movie.
That would have made the movie good. No, Sword Quest was just, long story short, they were a contest. And what happened, I forgot the company who made it, but the company who put out Sword Quest, what happens is it was either whoever beat the high score or whoever beat the game first, took a picture of it and sent it in, would win that game's contest. And then what happens is after, there was supposed to be a fourth one, Airworld, I think it was supposed to be called, which never came out, and then they would have like a grand championship for all four games. Now, here's the thing, as I pull it up because I want to get it right. The prizes were like a crown of jewels that was worth like a couple $1,000s, maybe even almost tens of thousands of dollars. A gold sword, a chalice, trying to remember what the fourth one was, and then it may have been like a cash prize at the end. Let me see if I can just pull this up real quick. And this I'm kind of doing on the fly, people. Don't mind me if you hear some button pressing. Let's see.
Well, you keep doing what you're doing because I have no idea what you're doing.
Let's see here. All right, here's the contest. So, Earthworld. Out of 5,000, 8 people managed to find. That's what it was. There was clues in each game you had to find. So 8 people in the first game found these clues, and the person won a talisman, which was made of 18-karat solid gold with 12 diamonds and the birthstones of the 12 zodiac signs embedded in it.
Holy crap!
Yep. At the time of the contest, the talisman was valued at $25,000.
Wow. What's it worth now?
I don't know because the guy who won it melted it down to pay taxes.
Are you serious?
Yep.
God damn.
Yep. Let's see. Now, that was Earthworld. Fireworld was a chalice of light. Chalice was made of gold and platinum adorned with something, diamonds, green jades, pearls, rubies, sapphires. Okay, each prize was valued at $25,000.
Damn.
Person supposedly in 2005 who won that one still had it. Waterworld was the crown, which was made of gold encrusted with aquamarines, diamonds, rubies, sapphires. Again, $25,000. So Airworld never came out, but it was supposed to get a Philosopher's Stone, which almost looked like Pandora's box, to be honest with you.
Wow.
And but yeah, that was those games were big time back then.
Well, what's funny about that is listening to that actually makes it almost sounds like inspiration for that book, Ready Player One. Did you ever read Ready Player One?
A fantastic book. Absolutely fantastic.
Excellent book, but the way you're describing this reminds me of that book.
Almost, right? Yeah. Because you had to find, because the guy dies who created the game, and you have to go find, you're exactly, I don't want to give anything away.
And you wind up, and the whole idea is you wind up, searching through granted it's a virtual world, but it's highly influenced by 80s video games.
Oh, yeah. And Spielberg's making a movie out of it. I think they're filming as we speak.
Yes, they are making a movie, and I'm looking forward to it. I never read the sequel, Armada, but
I don't know if that's a sequel as much as just a second book that he wrote. I don't know if it's necessarily a sequel. But you're right. I got to pick that up.
Ready Player One was very entertaining, and I'm almost worried it was kind of prophetic to what's going to happen soon, because now we're living in a world where where you can pay for things with bitcoins, and it's kind of scary.
World of Warcraft. The book was basically World of Warcraft.
Yeah, virtual money. I don't understand virtual money. I really don't. But then again, we all pay everything with debit cards now.
I was gonna say, all money's virtual. Nixon took us off the gold standard, so
pretty much. So anyway, but aside from that, so Sword Quest. Well, I just learned something today about Sword Quest. So because I never played those. I remember there was a computer adventure game, and I forgot the name of it, but I had bought it because it was also a contest, and the person who solved the contest would win. Whoever solved it first won $1 million. Oh
wow!
And it was this was in the probably late 90s, mid to late 90s, and the game. I'm gonna see if I can look it up. And the game came with a CD-ROM because you played it on your computer, but it also came with an audio CD, and the audio CD was a full. I don't know if it wasn't necessarily a soundtrack for the actual game, but the songs on the CD gave clues that would help you figure everything out. So it was actually the adventure game that you were playing, and then this audio, this audio disc that you needed to listen. You needed to listen to the music, so you can figure it out and win the $1 million prize.
Huh. Do you remember what was that game for Super Nintendo? Based on the. Okay. What was her face in A League of Their Own? Who played the catcher in A League of Their Own? Gina Davis.
Gina Davis.
She was in that
Treasure Quest.
Yes,
that was
not. Oh, your game is Treasure Quest.
Treasure Quest was the game, and the winner of Treasure Quest won $1 million. So there were 11 songs on the soundtrack, and then there was the game itself. And you had to solve all the puzzles and win, and it was just absolutely crazy. I couldn't get very far at all in it.
At least you tried.
Yep. And then let's see. The contest ended on December 31st, 1999. If there was no winner. So,
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So in other words, if nobody figured it out, apparently somebody did.
Did they win?
Yeah, Paul Wigowski of Woodburn, Oregon. However, there was a controversy.
Oh boy!
Based on let's see. He was a school teacher. Let's see. It was afterwards admitted by the producer of the game. He was the first to submit. However, the player was disqualified on a technicality that he did not put the required registration number in the upper right-hand corner of the submission.
Bingo!
As required by the rules of the game.
There you go. Yeah. Big time. Corporate. You can't beat corporate America.
Oh, no. However, they did hand it out to somebody else in San Francisco in May of 1998.
Okay. Who did it right?
who did it right. Although people still think that person didn't win it. They just posted it to say they won it.
Oh. Because someone went, we don't have $1 million.
Well, no, since we're talking about it, I'll finish it. A person by the name of P. Dreisen of San Francisco, California, won the game and the cash prize in May 1998. It was speculated that the person P. Dreisen is actually an anagram of end prize. So that many of the people that collaborated online wonder why the person never showed up to discussions or participated in chat rooms.
I love it.
Yeah.
Who needs Ready Player One? That's a story. You make that into a movie.
Right? Treasure Quest, baby.
Oh my God, that is.
I wish I still had the game.
I'd like to hear the soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack was actually pretty interesting because, they just sounded like regular songs, and I couldn't figure out.
Was it like pop rock? Was it like 90s, like that 90s, slit your throat?
Listening.
Oh, easy listening? Okay.
Yeah, so basically slit your throat.
Man. What I was talking about with the Gina Davis, what was that, Cutthroat Island or whatever? That swashbuckling movie that she was in?
Yes.
The Super Nintendo game had a contest.
Really?
Cutthroat Island, and I think it was whoever beat the game first or something would win, maybe not $1 million, because I don't think they were giving that out.
Now who knows? Well, for based on how much money that movie made, they probably gave out $10.
Yeah. Here now that we're talking about it, I want to see what it was all about. Let's see.
Now I just want to talk about video game contests.
Yeah, well, hey, listen, you know what? Let's see what else we can come up with. It's right there, right on the cover of the box, but it doesn't say anything on Wikipedia. Come on, man. Let's see. Not a thing on it. All right. Can I zoom in on the box art? Here it is. All right. Exclusive interactive sweepstakes. Win a real-life treasure hunt. Oh, never mind. All right.
Oh, God.
But I think you had to, like, beat the game in order to be able to... Here, let's see. See back for details. Exclusive in-game sweepstakes. Enter to win a real-life treasure hunt. I think you have to collect treasure chests. I guess if you collected all the treasure chests, you get entered to win the real-life treasure hunt. But I don't have any other news on it. But still, that was... I remember... I never saw the movie, but... is that Carol Ewes, whatever his name is? Who else was in that? Now I'm curious. But yeah, that was... I don't know, was there any other... Do you remember any other games that had like a contest to it?
Well, no, I mean, I'm trying to think of other ones that I've heard of, and like, the Nintendo World Championship was a contest that I took part in way back in the day. And we've talked about that on the podcast before. That was back in like 1990, right?
Just about, yeah, 90, yeah, I think I was like 10, yeah.
Yep. So I remember that one, and that's when you got to play Super Mario Brothers, Rad Racer, and Tetris. And if I remember correctly, the ultimate winner got his photo in Nintendo Power Magazine, and $50,000 or $25,000. I can't remember which.
Back then, probably 25.
Yeah, it was 25 or 50, but he got immortalized in Nintendo Power Magazine, which makes me want to segue for a moment about Nintendo Power. Because when we didn't talk about this earlier, but when the NES Classic, I was reading this today, when the NES Classic comes out this Friday, for this weekend, Nintendo is resurrecting their hotline number.
Oh, really?
just for the weekend, just for November 12th and 11th, 12th and 13th, or just 12th and 13th.
Genius.
If you get stuck on one of the classic games on the Retro Console, you can call the Nintendo Power hotline.
Oh, man.
And get hints for whatever game you're stuck on. Now, it's not going to be a live person on the other end of the phone like it used to be. It's going to be pre-recorded, but still, I think that's just an awesome throwback. And just a cool little bonus to throw in. And not only that, it's the same number.
Is it the same phone number? That's awesome.
It's the same number. So, and it's not even a 1-800 number.
No, not back then. Yeah, right. It was a local number.
It's like a 425 number or something like that.
Washington, yeah.
Thankfully, long distance charges don't apply anymore. But remember back then, your parents would get the phone bill and start screaming, "What the hell is this number?"
Oh,
and
my
you didn't
God.
want to tell them it was. I called the Nintendo hotline. I got stuck in Castlevania 2, damn it.
It's like, remember when they called it up on in The Wizard? And the guy walking them through had all the giant just books of games. Oh, God. That's pretty cool. I may just call that just for the heck of it anyway.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing the same thing, too. Just giving it a call just for the nostalgia. It would be awesome.
I can imagine it now, like not like pure like 80s, like thank you for calling Nintendo hotline. You know what I mean? Oh, it's gonna be awesome.
How much you want to bet it's gonna be impossible to get through?
Oh yeah, right. It's only allowed one call at a time, and one person's gonna use it for the entire weekend.
We're sorry, only 8 people on the line allowed.
Oh, that's actually pretty cool. We'll have to...
Yeah, it's a cool little throwback. So for anybody out there who loves their NES games, even if you're not buying the NES Classic on Friday, give the Nintendo Power hotline a call.
That is sweet.
But getting back to like other prizes, so aside from the Nintendo World Championships, the only other one I can come up with, and it's a more recent one, was the first person on Xbox Live who reached like 1 million points.
Oh, I think I remember that.
Yeah, he got, and I don't think this was a contest or anything like that, but
just like a thing.
Yeah, it's just like a thing. Like Microsoft decided to give him, what should we call it, lifetime of Xbox One for free, if I remember correctly.
Wow, Xbox Live.
Xbox Live, I believe he has a lifetime membership now for free.
All right, that's cool. That's worth it.
Now, I don't know if that meant it's ending after the Xbox One is done and the new one comes out, but
Scorpio.
But he has a lifetime membership card.
That's cool. All right, it's worth it.
Yeah. So, so it's nice when video game companies, out there do these cool little contests and prizes. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge for any video game companies out there. It'd be nice to throw that in there.
The Nintendo Power had some cool contests. You remember some of the Nintendo Power the contests in the magazine itself?
No, but share.
Well, I don't remember a ton of them. Well, the one that stands out mostly in my mind was a WWE one, and you were able to win an autographed turnbuckle pad. And
that's cool.
You may have won a trip to SummerSlam. I'm trying to remember that part of it. But there was other stuff, like you can win a walk-on role or visit a set of the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I guess was more like a consolation prize.
Really?
No, I think it was a walk-on, or either a walk-on role or just visit the set of Super Mario Brothers. And then just various other, win a trip for a contest. I mean, a concert, or like win a vacation trip. I remember I used to fill out those things every time. Because I never won it. And it was really just a survey card. That's really all it was a survey card.
Well, that's it. They just wanted information.
Yeah, totally.
That's really all they were looking for.
So.
But yeah, I'm trying to think of any other cool contests.
But no, contest-wise, I think, they kind of... Because there's only so much you can do, especially back then. Remember, you had to set up your camera, you had to take a picture of it and everything. Nowadays, you can kind of stream
which reminds me then, Super Mario Kart had one.
Did it?
Had a contest, yes.
The original?
The original one, if I remember correctly, yes. The contest was... There was one of the levels that you needed to play. Remember when you would be able to... Maybe it was Mario 64. Mario Kart 64.
Okay.
There was a level that you played where... You know how you would be able to set up your best race time? And then if you played it over... Your shadow would play with you, like the
Yes.
race time that you made? Okay.
Yes.
So there was a contest for one of the levels where I think if you were able to complete the level in under 90 seconds,
okay,
whoever did that first, I think if you took a picture of it and sent it over, you won something.
Why does that sound familiar? That sounds kind of familiar.
Yeah, because it was a thing. I'm trying to find it because I remember playing that. I remember playing the level over and over and over again, trying to beat it.
Was it through Nintendo Power or was it through the game?
No, it was through the game. Oh. But I can't. For the life of me, I can't remember which Mario Kart it was.
All right, well, people out there, listen. If you remember, let us know. Unless we find it here in a few seconds.
Post it on our Facebook page.
Most dubiously.
But yeah, I just remember playing that level over and over and over again, and it was just crazy.
I'll have to check that out.
Maybe it wasn't.
Maybe you're making up the whole story.
Yeah, I'm just making up the whole story. But no, I do remember doing that because there would be a special time that popped up on the screen when you completed it. So that's why I'm like, okay.
I'll have to check that out. Yeah. We'll get back to you, folks. We'll see how this. Honestly, it sounds familiar, but I don't remember.
It's somewhere in there.
It's probably something like from War Games, like the movie. Like you just do so good in the game, all of a sudden the army shows up and recruits you.
For all the games that I really kicked ass at, that never happened.
Ow.
Unacceptable.
Yes, very much so. Ugh.
But then again, I don't look like Matthew Broderick, so it's okay, I guess.
That is true. Thankfully, you're not married to whoever he was married to. Well, that's my pop culture of the day. With that being said, yeah, I can't think of any other... no. I mean, I'm fresh out of
Somehow we
segued
off of... We were talking about Atari Flashback.
We were.
we never got to. We talked about Volume 1. I don't think we ever made it to Volume 2.
Because we just we went. Not only did we go off the rail, we went down the chasm and we went straight off the thing. But let's talk about Volume 2 just real quick, because because we talked about Volume 1. But you had mentioned before we started recording here that there was, and I'm looking at it. Yes, Volume 2 does have a lot of good games on it.
And I will make the argument that I felt like Volume 2 was better, and here's the list. Adventure.
Yep.
Which is awesome. Yep. Also, the video game that carried the first ever Easter egg.
Yep. The guy, the creator's name, right? Yeah,
the creator hid his name in there because they didn't have credits back then.
Yep.
Asteroids, which they have the Atari version, the arcade version, and Asteroids Deluxe Arcade.
Yeah,
so that's really cool.
We can skip over.
Yeah, me too. We can skip over basic math. And then you have Crystal Castles, which was one of my favorite games. I love that game.
Classic.
Cool little puzzle game. What else do we have there? Golf, which honestly, arguably, I have a feeling golf was probably one of the best sports games you could possibly play on an Atari. They were all terrible.
I remember golf. Golf was a fun one. I do remember that.
Golf I think was the only fun one. Yep. Hangman, which is exactly what it is. Haunted House, which was like Adventure, but in a haunted house.
That one I never played. So
that one I loved. That was a really cool game. What I loved about it too is that you're just like a pair of eyeballs walking around this dark haunted house, and then you have to find the lights and stuff. I think the same thing was an Adventure. Missile Command, hands down one of my absolute favorite games on Atari. I loved that game.
And I absolutely hated that game.
Why did you hate it?
I didn't like the gameplay. I just didn't like the whole, I don't know, I just wasn't crazy about the gameplay. Well, I'm not saying it's a bad game, just personally speaking. I wasn't crazy about it.
Your loss. And then apparently, I didn't even know Haunted House had a sequel, but Return to Haunted House is going to be on here. So I'm curious to play that. I'm definitely curious to play that. Skydiver, which was an awesome game. And then I'm saving my favorites for last, which were Breakout and Super Breakout, which you used to play with the paddles. Yes. And those games were awesome. What's the Arkanoid is the one that I feel like gets the most credit because that one was the most fun, but there would be no Arkanoid without Breakout and Super Breakout.
That is very true. And you get three different. You get Breakout, Super Breakout, and Super Breakout Arcade. I'm curious how these arcade versions are going to look because I don't remember these. So I think when they say arcade, I don't know if it's just the souped up graphics because you got Crystal Castles, Asteroids has both versions.
I feel like the arcade versions when you played them back then, arcades were able to hold more information. So I think they just were more. I want to say they looked better or ran better than what they did on the Atari.
Red Baron's.
That's my thought. Okay. I remember Red Baron. I remember Surround, which was an interesting game.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say more of the real sports. Actually, this one's got better sports games. This one's got basketball, baseball, tennis. So, the other one's got volleyball.
So, yeah. I mean, regardless of which one is better, I mean, for me personally, I like Volume 2 better than Volume 1, but I would be more than happy to play both.
Oh yeah, and I may just as soon as we're done, I think we're going to download these onto the PlayStation.
Yeah. Then one other thing we didn't mention was that Genesis re-released their classic gaming console in October.
Oh yeah, yep.
So with 40 Genesis games and then 40 other games, which I always hate. I hate it when they look, you get 80 games. It's like, no, we're getting 40 games, and then you added 40 boring crappy games in there.
Yeah, you're right. It gets a little like just forcing it out.
Well, yeah, it's just quantity instead of quality. Because let me tell you something. I don't care about playing air hockey on a Genesis classic gaming console, nor do I care about playing Whack-A-Wolf. So
maybe you should care.
Maybe I should, but I'm much more interested in the 40 games that they did put on there, like Alex Kidd, Altered Beast, Golden Axe, all the Sonic games.
Nice.
Phantasy Star, Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
There you go.
So, I mean, they have a great batch of games on there, and then if I'm not mistaken, it also lets you play cartridges.
I was just going to say yes.
Cartridges.
Yep. Definitely.
So, yeah, like really, super cool. And then they also came out with, or are coming out with, a portable version of it as well.
I saw that one. I kind of like that one, and that one comes with also like a flash drive, not a flash drive, a SD card drive, so you can download games onto it.
Oh, that's
emulators,
really cool.
pretty much.
So yeah, so I like the fact that like Sega kind of responded in a way, because I didn't hear about this until they announced the NES Classic, but this must have been in the works before that.
Oh,
because they already came out. I wish Sega would have made a little bit more noise about it, because retro games seem to be making a comeback. So this is another one that I'm also looking into as a potential purchase. And
I'm on the Xbox One site, because I may just end up getting it for Xbox One instead of PlayStation, because I think I ran out of room. Some of the screenshots for the Xbox, I mean, they just look phenomenal. I mean they're old
for the Atari.
Yeah, the Atari games. Yeah, it seems like what it is with the arcade versions. You get like the arcade artwork on the sides and like slightly souped up graphics as opposed to the original versions.
That's cool.
$20 each. I guess I may do this as soon as we're done here. May do it now while we're doing it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you have the power in your hands.
I do have power. You've got the touch. So with that, so that's pretty much about it. I kind of like the, I'm going to look a little bit more into those contests. I'm curious to see what else, what other games had the contests, and hopefully one of them will accidentally forget to put a expiration date.
Yeah, I can also sift through my Nintendo Power Collection and see if I can come up with some of those contests you were talking about.
Yes, right. As I'm trying to, all I got was the cover art. I didn't get the actual page, but
no, I just sent you what I had readily available, but I do have somewhere all the Nintendo Powers.
There you go. Of course, in physical print and not on digital copies.
That is correct. So I may not have all of them, but I definitely have a good chunk of them.
That's cool. We'll catch that out. We'll revisit that for a future time.
Yes, we will.
But with that being said, I think we'll start to wrap this one up here. And anything you're looking forward to as far as, or anything you plan on doing as far as other games? I mean, all joking aside, I know we got we keep talking about Shining Force and Castlevania 2. Anything every once in a while you just kind of pick up and pop on and just kind of thumb through?
Well, I heard that Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 is really cool, and I know it's a newer game, not a retro game, but I'm thinking about getting my hands on that one.
The first one was awesome.
The first one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the next retro game on my list after Shining Force 2, I think might have to be Legend of Zelda: The Twilight Princess, because I never ever played it, and I own it for GameCube.
Okay.
And for somebody who's a huge fan of Zelda like I am, it's kind of a travesty that I never did play that. I also never played Skyward Sword because of I'm one of the only people, one of the only gamers in the world who did not buy a Wii.
Well, you have a Wii U, so that works.
Yeah, so it's backwards compatible, so I can get my hands on Skyward Sword now. But yeah, I need to do some Zelda catch up. I'd also like to go back and play some of the handheld versions too. And you can get those on the Virtual Console. So
you can get a few of them on the Virtual. The Minish Cap, Legend of Zelda Minish Cap was absolutely fantastic. And if I can recommend, what was the one on DS? It may have been Phantom Hourglass. Not the one, not Spirit's Tracks. I didn't like that one, but Phantom Hourglass. That was on 3DS though, but that was a great one too. Yeah,
so I really need to just play catch up on my Zelda. So right now, that's what I'm looking at. Who knows what'll happen? I'm still holding out hope that I'll buy Tecmo's Deception soon and play that again.
I just want to see what it looks like because I don't remember it. So.
Oh, I do. It was just such a weird game, and the graphics, I mean, were early PS1, so they weren't that great. But I'm looking forward to buying that again and playing it, even though, again, not the best game in the world. But any game I play will always be better than anything that is on your Virtual Boy.
I challenge that, my friend. Challenge.
I will accept that challenge because you cannot. There's no game on Virtual Boy I can play that I would enjoy.
Mario Clash and Wario Land. But one day.
You keep telling yourself that.
One day. Damn you, Superstorm Sandy. With that being said, let's get ready to wrap this one up. And I'm definitely going to... I'll let everyone know next time in a couple weeks when I play it and get some time to play about these Atari games. I'll get on Xbox One. It looks like real quick. I think we can play multiplayer online through Xbox Live.
We're going to have to do that.
And I think I can sync it up through Twitch, so we will talk about that when the show's over.
Oh, even better.
Yep. All right, folks. With that, we're going to wrap it up, and thank you very much for downloading it. More 365 here. Follow me everywhere. Follow the show. Retro Gamers Podcast on Facebook.